Hey guys, Mike from Craft Beer Storm, also founder, owner, brewer at Beara Brewing Company in glorious Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Over the holiday period, I figured we'd do like a best of series. We'd do the best interviews with brewers or movers and shakers in the industry. We'll do a best of the beer styles that we did during the year, and we'll also do a best of beer news, where we had people come on in and talk with me about news of the week. I think it'd be entertaining, and also if you haven't listened to them before, you can listen to them now. So I wish you and your families a great holiday season. Stay safe, drink good craft beer, and we will talk to you in the new year. Here we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Michael from the Beara Brewing Company in glorious Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and this is Craft Beer Storm, podcast to promote craft beer industry in not only in the U.S. but all over the world. I entitled this episode. This is episode 1, inaugural podcast. Why am I doing this? That's the title. But let me give you a background about me and where I'm from and what I've done so far. I opened Beara Brewing Company in Portsmouth, New Hampshire in 2014. It came from an idea. I was living in England for several years and went to Ireland frequently. And I had the Irish bread there, and the bread was delicious. So I got the idea, why doesn't somebody use this grain to make a great beer in the U.S.? The Irish beers, or the quote-unquote Irish beers here, are really not quality craft brews. They're probably mass-produced, and took the idea. I always had it in the back of my head, and I'm a CPA by trade, and I had a job opportunity in Portsmouth, New Hampshire as director of audit. So I came up here and I noticed that the craft beer scene was exploding, not just in New Hampshire, but all over New England. And I said, wow, maybe I'm in the epicenter of where I can try this idea out. So, got barley, went into the basement, home brewed, and people liked it. So I said, well, we may be onto something here, so let me do a Kickstarter. So I did a Kickstarter. We raised approximately $11,000. I mean, random people were giving us money. I don't know who these people were, but they liked the idea, they liked the concept, and it was great. We amassed some money to get going. Unfortunately, the job that I had as director of audit went away after 3 years. They outsourced it. So I had to decide where I'm going next. I said, hey, maybe we're onto something here. Let me start a brewery. So we went into a plaza, got a small unit, 2800 Lafayette Road in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and leased the space out, and it was just a shell. So we built the whole brewery out. We started from nothing, pretty much. Had to build the drains in, had to build the cold rooms, the tap room. Had a lot of help from some relatives, which was tremendous. I couldn't do it without them. Bill Wright was fantastic, of the Wright Group in New Jersey, giving him a plug. And we finally got the tap room open. We dealt with the city of Portsmouth and had to make some adjustments, but we finally got it open in November 2014, and we're still around. We're still alive, and we had a couple of distributors. It was great. Got our beer and made a lot of beer and put it in a corner, and they picked it up and distributed. We were in about 150 stores, bars, and restaurants at one point. Now we're self-distributing, but we're in a bunch of stores locally and bars and restaurants, and we're at the point where we can't make enough. Whatever we make sells pretty quickly, which is great. They say it's a great problem to have. I don't know, because I can't make enough. So we are looking to expand, and on a side note, we are offering the Portsmouth location as to any aspiring brewers out there. If you want a turnkey facility, email me, michael@bearairishbrew.com, and we'll take it from there. And we, like I said, we're outgrown the brewery, but, why am I doing this? I mean, I had a passion for brewing the beer. I look at the beer that's offered in stores, and I still see it. And this is one of the reasons why I started this podcast as well, is I walk into a large grocery store and I see about 90% of it in the beer section as this crafty beer, quote unquote crafty beer, or mass-produced beer that it's kind of deceptive in my, the way I see it. And I think local craft beer has to be promoted. So that's, why I'm starting this podcast, to educate people that you don't really have to settle for this mass-produced beer. There's really a lot of beer that's local that is much better. Going to restaurants and bars, same thing. Like they have 10 tap lines, 9 of them are crafty beer, not crafty beer. Big beers, which is not, maybe they have one tap line for local beers, a local brewery. And I think that, it should be more. There should be more local brewers in that bar. And, you should contact the manager if that's the case and say, hey, what's going on? Why are they so outnumbered? We have some really good beer being made locally, and you should put it on tap. And I would like to focus not only on New England or the U.S., but really, across the world. Try to get people on the podcast. We're looking at brewers, in different countries. We have some communication with them. We'll get them on the podcast. In upcoming shows, we will have, of course, local brewers, that have the passion. And I love these guys. They go in. It really kicks your butt, brewing. Brewing at home is one thing, but, we went from 5 gallons to 200 gallons, and it's a long day to brew a beer. You don't add powder to water to make beer. It's just a big process. And you can come in, we can give you a free tour if you'd like, and really show you the process, and people appreciate it. Also have some brewers that are on a regional level, making excellent beer. We'll have them on the podcast. We have a master Cicerone lined up. It's like a sommelier for wine. It's a Cicerone for beer, but they know everything about beer, inside out, upside down, and like to get an understanding from him. But also, we use local ingredients, so we'll have a podcast with individuals in the area. I use some honey from a local honey producer. We use maple syrup. We're in New Hampshire. We got excellent maple syrup up here. And we even use coffee. Local coffee shop makes their own coffee, delicious coffee, cold brew coffee. We even use buffalo wing sauce from a local wing place. We've used it in our pale ale, and it works out well. People love it. We go to festivals and give it out, and it's excellent. It's really good. And we're open for other ideas. I will be setting up a Facebook page, Craft Beer Store. Craft Beer Storm, and we will, take it from there. I mean, we just want to try to grow this. We need your input. If you like what I'm saying and you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, I would appreciate that, and I encourage that. Also, likes and reviews on our podcast would be excellent. We want to do this for spreading the gospel about craft beer and just letting people know that, they don't have to settle for this watered down beer, and there is an alternative, which is excellent, and that's local beer. So that's our podcast for today. I hope you join me again for the next one. Join me on this journey. It's going to be excellent. We will interview a lot of people who know a lot of stuff about beer, and I look forward to seeing you next time.